All over the world, education is changing. Technology is reshaping the way children learn and teachers teach. Learning and Teaching Scotland is a dynamic and forward-thinking public sector body, and in collaboration with the Scottish Government and other key national partners, is the lead organisation for the development of the curriculum, aspects of assessment and the development and use of technology in education in Scotland. In April 2009, it published Curriculum for Excellence, the biggest reform in education in a generation, and implementation is now underway in classrooms and learning centres all over Scotland. By redesigning education for the 21st century, its goal is to motivate and empower young people throughout their educational life, preparing them for the challenges in a global society.
What was decided quite early on was the style of the curriculum had to enable the teachers and whoever was working with children to look at the curriculum from the point of view of the child, so that each child was an individual and the professional that's working with them and with groups of them decide what and how to teach those young people.
Previous curriculum changes were done piecemeal, each age group category looked at separately. It left huge gaps in the transition stages. In contrast, Learning and Teaching Scotland's embarked upon unprecedented consultation with the educational community and worked in partnership to give a voice to all interested parties: local authorities, the inspectorate, teachers, parents, pupils and many others.
The model previously was that a body like ours would hire in a lot of staff to sit in rooms and write material. What's happened this time round has been a different model of change. We've trialled it, we've involved classroom teachers, we've used people at a very formative stage to comment and influence. And the way we've actually produced the material means that we're less fixed on how it should be taught, that we're leaving a lot of room for creativity.
The emphasis on creativity includes integrating technology into Curriculum for Excellence. Only then will pupils have the deep and thorough understanding of technology that will allow them to prosper in a modern global society once their school days are over.
If you look at the industries of the future, you look at maybe the reduction, less emphasis on finance industries, but more emphasis on the creative industries. You also look at digital technology, digital media. And it's important that we reflect this both as a tool to improve learning and opportunities for young people, but also to contribute to sustainable economic growth.
GLOW, Scottish Education's national intranet, will help deliver Curriculum for Excellence. It links up 800,000 pupils and 53,000 teachers and other learning practitioners across 32 local authorities in a virtual learning environment. It gives young people greater synergy between how they live their lives at home and how they're taught in the classroom.
They want to bridge the gulf, I think, between kind of what happens in everyday life, the way we find information now, and perhaps some of the more traditional means that we've been using quite often in classrooms. And when you see the difference in engagement for a student, when they're actually much more involved in what they're doing, and it's using a method that they are much more familiar with and much happier with, and perhaps more importantly, suits their learning style.
But it's also the pupils' parents that will benefit from GLOW.
If we look at the traditional means of passing information from school to home, using technology there can really change things quite significantly. Instead of having just your traditional form of parents' evenings or letters home, all of a sudden you can really open up communication channels quite significantly and have a parent much more involved in their child's learning. Instead of them just accessing that on a certain termly basis, perhaps of a report.
Although GLOW is a national intranet, Learning and Teaching Scotland is looking beyond its own borders to further the minds of Scottish pupils. It's joined forces with the Office of Chinese Language Council International, called the Hanban, to introduce Confucius classrooms into Scottish schools. It reflects Learning and Teaching Scotland's commitment to give young people an understanding of the interdependence of the world in which they live. And with clever use of technology, it's ensuring as many Scottish pupils as possible have access to a Confucius classroom.
The unique way that we've gone about doing it is develop them as hubs. So in fact, instead of having 8 classrooms in 8 schools, we've developed them as a resource for a whole local authority, or indeed across local authorities. So rather than touching a small number of pupils, we've actually enabled a large number of pupils in Scotland to have the opportunity to tap into an understanding of Chinese language and culture.
These Confucius classrooms demonstrate Learning and Teaching Scotland's determination to produce what it calls global citizens.
I think that the importance of placing international education within the curriculum is the key thing that is making the difference, because it's not something that's seen as part of the language education or part of the geography education. It's something that's embedded right across the curriculum. So it's the responsibility of all of us in the education system, and it's really about providing all our young people with that experience.
I think we have a set of principles that we want to see employed in Curriculum for Excellence. So it really is to robust standards, but it must be enjoyable, it must be relevant, and it must be developed, what we say, the 4 capacities for young people, so that we don't just turn out people who pass exams, but are good citizens, they're good employees, they are lifelong learners who can contribute meaningfully to society.
To do this, Learning and Teaching Scotland consults with people from the business community, gleaning from them the skills and attributes a pupil will need to prosper in later life. By writing this into Curriculum for Excellence, it's established the link between the classroom and the workplace.
Young people are going to be far better prepared to make choices. They will learn about the pathways that take them from school into apprenticeships, into further education, into university or into employment. And the partnerships, and the partnership that is so essential to Curriculum for Excellence, stem well beyond the classroom.
Learning and Teaching Scotland has had and continues to have a significant impact on Scottish education and technological advancement. Its groundbreaking work is setting a benchmark for other countries to follow in making a real difference to the way young people learn in an ever-changing world.